I love talking about my different fandoms and favorite video games and movies and TV shows as much as the next person, but there are things happening right now in our country that need to be talked about. It's political, it's not good news, it's things that are uncomfortable to talk about but that need to be talked about and need to be brought attention to. People need to know and stay informed of what is going on. Below in my video description there is an ever-growing list of people, social media accounts, organizations, and websites that are standing up to the hatred and violence we are seeing by our quote-unquote President Trump. Check out any of the links and social media accounts that I have at the bottom of my description to stay informed and to find out how you can help fight back. Just like Captain America said that it doesn't matter what the mobs or the politicians tells you. It doesn't matter if so many of them is saying something wrong is something right. And if they come to you saying that, telling you to move, it is your job to stand there and plant yourself beside the river of truth and say, no, you move. Hatred and ignorance and fear is not what makes our country great. Hey geeks, what's up? Welcome to my channel. I'm Trey Guillotine, and today I am enthusiastically geeky about the new Marvel TV spot that they played during the Super Bowl that gave us some glimpses at their new Disney Plus shows, Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and WandaVision. But first, I got one question for you. What you gaming on? If you want to let me know what you're gaming on, let me know the game you're playing, what you like about it, and what you don't like about it in the comments of this video or on any of my social media, and your answer will be featured in an upcoming What You Gaming On segment. We're going to go ahead and jump into what I've been gaming on, and I've actually been playing my Switch a lot more. It's getting a lot more use, I'm getting a lot more use out of it than I did when I first bought it, that I just kind of sit there just because there weren't a lot of games on it that I really wanted to play, aside from Breath of the Wild, which I think I've just accepted that Zelda just gives me anxiety. I don't know that I can play Zelda games, or I need to like work through playing Zelda games so I can actually enjoy them and experience them, because I want to like them. They give me anxiety for whatever reason. I really don't know. But there's more games on it, and I've been getting some more games on it, and specifically I've been playing Octopath Traveler, which is, it's a Square Enix game, and it very much feels like Final Fantasy. It feels like, I can't say that it feels like old Final Fantasy, because I've never played old Final Fantasy. The earliest Final Fantasy I've played is Final Fantasy VII. I haven't played before that, I've played Final Fantasy VII and up, but nothing before that. But I feel like this feels like if I were playing an old Final Fantasy game, this is what it would be. It would be this kind of like JRPG, quest. I mean, and it's essentially what it is. But the things what I like about it, I mean, one, for a game that is 16-bit or 8-bit, whatever, however many bits the game is, it looks beautiful. Like, it was a clear stylized choice that this is the kind of game and the kind of graphics it wanted to have. But on top of that, it looks beautiful. Like, some of the settings that you see as you're traveling throughout the world, just they're breathtakingly beautiful for such like a simple graphic game. It looks amazing. Also, I really like the stories. I like the stories that we're seeing of each different character, and I've only done like the chapter 1s of all the characters, so I haven't gotten to any of the chapter 2s. I'm working towards that right now, but I like that it's all of these characters kind of just meeting up and say, well, we all have our own journeys, we all have our own paths, but we're gonna do them together, which is also kind of like, it feels like that kind of classic fantasy party kind of thing that I would imagine Dungeons and Dragons to be like. It's all of these characters who have very different backstories and are pursuing things, but they're going to do it together and kind of like, make a family of these adventurers. My only real critique is, and I've been told that what I have a problem with changes once you get to the chapter 2s of each character, but so far in like the first 8 chapters, or the first 8 chapter 1s is that, like, the party members have no interaction with each other, which is kind of disappointing. Hopefully that does change. That's what I've heard. I've heard that it does change and that the party does have actual, like, conversations with each other, and it kind of makes sense that they're not talking to each other right now, just because you can pick whichever character you want to start the game with. So if you had, like, if you're doing, one mission for one character, but you didn't have another character that would normally interact with them, it might mess up just some of the dialogue and some of the story and plot. So it makes sense. Like, I get why they're not talking to each other yet. But that is a noticeable thing, that these 8 people are traveling all around the world, helping each other in their own little quests and fighting monsters, and have little to no actual interaction with each other. That's like my one critique, but I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited to get to the chapter 2s and see, like, where more of these stories go, because there's characters that I like and dislike to varying degrees, but overall the stories of these characters I'm really interested in. I think they're really well done. I think they're really well written. Like, I want to see where this character is going to go. So that's what I've been gaming on. But now I want to hear what you've been gaming on. So like I said, if you want to tell me the game you're playing, what you like about it, and what you don't like about it, your answer will be featured in an upcoming episode. So let's get into today's topic, and that is the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl happened. The sports final season finale happened. I didn't actually watch the Super Bowl. I didn't even watch, like, it for the commercials. I didn't watch it because I have no real interest in seeing that ludicrous display last night. But I did, like, afterwards saw the Marvel TV spot that they did. They didn't give any real trailers. It was really just more of teases of Disney Plus and Marvel's upcoming shows, Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and WandaVision. And like I said, it was maybe 30 seconds of a TV spot, so it didn't give anything really concrete. It didn't really give too much detail about what exactly the story is going to be, but it definitely laid out a lot of questions I think we're supposed to have as we get closer and closer to watching these shows. So to start off with Loki, I'm pretty sure they only had one actual shot of Loki, and it's him sitting there, and it looks like he's kind of wearing, like, some kind of jumpsuit, and he says, "I'm going to burn this place to the ground," and that's it. That's all we really saw of Loki, so I'm really curious where that's going to go. I imagine the Loki that this is going to be is not good Loki post Thor Ragnarok or post Endgame or whatever, like, after Endgame. It looks like this, like, I have a feeling this is going to be Loki who stole the Tesseract in, like, the other timeline that the Avengers created. And that's the Loki that we're going to kind of be dealing with, him jumping around space with the Space Stone, with the Tesseract. So it'll be interesting to see how that show is going to work. After that, we did see some other glimpses of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and we didn't get a lot of plot information, but we got a lot of kind of how the series is going to feel. And honestly, watching what they showed, it looks like it's going to be very similar to Captain America Winter Soldier. Like, it's going to be a lot more like political, military, espionage, kind of like spy thriller, with, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, with Sam and with Bucky working together. It looks like one of it, if not the big bad, but one of the big bads is going to be Baron Zemo, or whatever his first name was in Captain America Civil War, but Zemo, who was like the big bad in Civil War, who kind of like made that fracture between the Avengers a little bit deeper between Tony and Steve. But it looks like he's coming back, which I think is great, because I feel like that character was really wasted if they were just going to use him once for Civil War. Like, I think there's a lot more they could do with that character, and it looks like that's what's going to happen. The other thing I noticed in the spots for Falcon and the Winter Soldier is where Sam seems to be, at least for a couple of shots. We do see Sam, like, we see the shield stuck in a tree, and we see Sam throwing the shield, so he's, getting used to using Captain America's shield as the new Captain America, with, Anthony Mackie is going to be new Captain America. NOLA represent! But where he is, I mean, yes, Anthony Mackie is from New Orleans. He's from Louisiana, but I don't know where Sam is supposed to be from. But where he is practicing with the shield, it looks like Louisiana. It looks like a very swampy area. You see like Spanish moss hanging from the trees. Like it looks like that he's in Louisiana. Now it's entirely possible that he's actually spending time with Captain Marvel's friend and her daughter. Like maybe they knew each other over time, or maybe they met at Tony Stark's funeral. They just know each other. They met, whatever. Like, I'm wondering if that's where that's gonna be, where Captain America, her pilot friend, and her daughter, who were, just kind of fixing up planes, living out there in the back roads of Louisiana, down in the swamps. So I'm wondering if that's where he is. Other than that, I'm very excited about it. Again, excited that, Nola Local is now Captain America. I can't wait to see how the show's going to go. I can't wait to see how him and Bucky are interacting, because that was always a very funny interaction between the two of them. In Civil War, they're very, it wasn't so much bickering, but there was definitely some sass in their conversations to each other. So hopefully that's going to be really good. I'm very excited about it. But for me, the biggest thing that brought up a lot of questions was WandaVision, which I don't know why they're calling it WandaVision and not calling it Scarlet Vision. I feel like that's a way better name, especially since it kind of has a double meaning with Vision. Because you have, Scarlet Witch, Wanda, Scarlet Witch, and then you have the Vision, who's, a character that's coming back. But it also looks like a lot of the content of that show is going to be nods to other TV shows. What we knew about it before this TV spot was that WandaVision was going to be taking place in the 50s, which didn't make a lot of sense, but it kind of had everyone wondering if this was going to be a House of M inspiration, where it's kind of Wanda, kind of losing control of her magical abilities, and she creates this alternate dimension where her and Vision are essentially living happily ever after, which, if you think about it, family is kind of a big deal with Wanda, clearly. And that's what all of the glimpses that we saw is the TV shows that a lot of WandaVision seem to be pulling from. I'm not saying they're pulling from TV shows to use for their own thing. It looks like the shows, they're literally in these different shows, like I Love Lucy, All in the Family, Married with Children, all of these different old family sitcom TV shows. It looks like that's the reality that they're in. They're literally in these shows, some are black and white, some are very old-timey TV. It looks like they're basically going to be in TV shows, which kind of makes the double meaning of vision, of having WandaVision. It's like television, but vision. Hope you got that. But it just, my biggest question with that, though, is then how is this show going to be structured? Is each episode going to be a different a different TV nod? So, episode 1 will be I Love Lucy. Episode 2 could be All in the Family. Episode 3 could be Growing Pains. Be all of these different old sitcoms, and kind of going through the wacky hijinks that, sitcoms and horsing around go through, with just this overarching theme of breaking out of the dimension, or however that's going to work. How is that show going to work? And also, how is that show going to be multiple seasons? I haven't seen confirmation that these shows, that WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and Loki, are going to be multiple season, have multiple seasons. If these are just going to be actual series that are going to go as many seasons as they can, or if this is going to be a bunch of miniseries where we're just seeing slightly longer versions of movies of these characters. So it just, seeing these, it brought up a lot of questions. And I mean, I think that was the point of giving, this TV spot, is now we're thinking about this, we're speculating, we're wondering, how is this going to work? What's going to happen? Where is WandaVision going to go? What is going to be, Zemo's plot against the Avengers and Falcon and Winter Soldier? Where's Loki going to be doing? Is he going to be good or bad? like, we have these questions, and they're probably not going to be answered until, until we actually see the show. And I think that's great. Like, I think the fact that this one small TV spot is giving us so many questions to talk about. I mean, that's good. That's good marketing for Disney and Marvel, is that they're keeping our attention. And I'm very excited. I'm very excited for these shows individually. I'm also really excited for what they're trying to do. They're making shows that are actually connected to the Marvel Universe. It's not just, what they did with Defenders, which I love Defenders. I loved those series. But there was a clear disconnect between things like the Defenders and Cloak and Dagger and Runaways, which, no, I haven't watched the last season of that. And also Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I think is going for another season. I don't know. That show's always kind of just up in the air. But I'm excited. I'm very excited to see what they're going to be doing with these TV series, if they're going to, like, lead up to certain events in the films, like is WandaVision and this kind of parallel universe, is that going to somehow connect to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? Or is Loki and whatever he does in his adventures going to somehow, like, lead up to Thor: Love and Thunder? I'm really curious, and I'm really excited. I'm very excited for these shows. And the fact that they are coming out, we're not waiting a year on them. These shows are coming out relatively soon, like over the next couple months. I think at least one of them. I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier comes out first, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But I'm excited. And now I want to hear from you. So what are you excited about these new Disney Plus Avengers tie-in TV shows that they're going to be producing, such as WandaVision, Loki, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Let me know in the comments of this video or on any of my social media. And remember, if you want your answer featured in an upcoming video, let me know the game you like, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, and let me know, and your answer will be featured in an upcoming What You Gaming On segment. If you want to read any of my written work, or for just personal blogs, or for any of the articles that I've written for the UNO Driftwood, you can get them at treyguillotine.blogspot.com or unodriftwood.com. If you want to see any of my other videos, you can also find them on my blog and also in this YouTube channel. And remember to subscribe to my channel to geek out some more. Thanks for watching. Have fun.